Hello there, this is the World News at 12 and Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Amina Ojelabi and these are the top stories. Syrian troops withdraw from Aleppo as rebels advance. Atiku hosts Peter Obi at Adamawa residence. IGP orders probe into Kogi boat mishap. Villagers flee as unknown gunmen return, kill alleged informant in Abia. NAFDAC warns about circulation of fake anti-malaria drug. Details now. The World News at 12 begins with the Syrian government forces withdrawing from the city of Aleppo following an offensive by rebels opposed to the rule of President Bashar al-Assad. The army acknowledged that rebels had entered large parts of the city but vowed to stage a counter-attack. The offensive marks the most significant fighting in Syria's civil war in recent years. More than 300 people, including at least 20 civilians, have been killed since it began on Wednesday, according to the UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights (SOHR). Speaking on Saturday, President Assad vowed to defend Syria's stability and territorial integrity in the face of all terrorists and their backers. Iran's top diplomat Abbas Arachi is set to visit Damascus today to discuss the offensive. The civil war, which has left around 500,000 people dead, began in 2011 after the Assad government responded to pro-democratic protests with a brutal crackdown. Back home in Nigeria, the 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and his counterpart from the Labour Party, Peter Obi, have dismissed speculations about their plans for the 2027 presidential election. Atiku and Obi made the remark against the backdrop of the breakfast meeting in Yola, the Adamawa State capital. A video had emerged of both men seated together at a dining table ready to have their meal. However, Atiku's spokesman Paul Ibe said the meeting was a reunion of two old friends. Speaking with journalists about Saturday's meeting, Ibe said Obi had accepted to be the keynote speaker at the 20th anniversary of the American University of Nigeria and its 16th Founders Day. On his part, Obi's media aide Ibrahim Omar said the meeting had no political undertone as Obi had visited Atiku in order to give a speech at the ceremony to commemorate another anniversary for the tertiary institution. In a recent development, the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun has ordered an investigation into the boat mishap in Kogi State. The tragedy happened on Friday, leaving scores of people deceased. In response, the IGP directed the force marine officer to lead a comprehensive investigation into the cause of the mishap. According to force spokesperson Olumuyiwa Adejobi, he noted that the aim is to identify contributing factors and develop actionable strategies to prevent similar occurrences on the nation's waterways. The police chief will console the families of the victims and Kogi people over the boat mishap, assured of the agency's resolve to ensure the swift rescue of missing passengers. IGP Egbetokun also called on waterway operators, boat owners and other stakeholders to work closely with the Force Marine Department in adopting and enforcing critical safety measures to protect passengers and operators alike. Meanwhile, unknown gunmen have returned to Umuchima village in Isialawa North Local Government area of Abia State and killed a male indigene of the community who allegedly provided information to the army about their existence in the community. The Nigerian army had on Tuesday announced that the troops of Joint Task Force Southeast Operation, codenamed Operation Udoka, destroyed a camp in Umuchima. Following the killing of the alleged informant, some natives of the affected village had fled their homes in fear and relocated to nearby villages, promising promising to return as soon as the dust settled. The fleeing villagers who picked a few of their important property said they didn't want to become victims of circumstances. This came amid vows by the Abia State government and the security agencies to flush out the gunmen terrorizing the state. You are currently listening to the World News at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. After the break, we'll bring you more stories. Stay tuned. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has postponed its much anticipated special session on the tax reform bills initially scheduled for Tuesday. This was disclosed in a memo issued on Saturday by the Clerk of the House, Yahaya Danzaria, who assured lawmakers that a new date for the session will be communicated in due course. The tax bills sent to the National Assembly include the Nigerian Tax Bill 2024, which is expected to provide a fiscal framework for taxation in the country, and the Tax Administration Bill, which will provide a legal framework for all taxes in the country and reduce dispute. The special session initially scheduled for Tuesday, 3rd December 2024, to discuss all the tax reform bills has been postponed to a later date. The clerk explained that the rescheduling is due to the need for further and broader consultation with all relevant stakeholders. He also noted that a new date and venue for the session will be communicated in due course. In a recent development, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has raised an alarm over the circulation of counterfeit combat artemether 2120 mg dispersible tablets in Nigeria. In a public alert published on its website, NAFDAC identified the fake drugs manufacturing date as February 2023 and June 2023, with expiry date of May 2026 and June 2026. To address the issue, NAFDAC has instructed its zonal directors and state coordinators to intensify surveillance and remove the counterfeit product from circulation. The agency urged importers, distributors, retailers, and healthcare providers to remain vigilant and avoid dealing in fake drug. It emphasized that all medical products should only be sourced from authorized suppliers, and their authenticity and condition should be thoroughly inspected. NAFDAC encouraged the public to report suspicious activities involving falsified or substandard medicines to their nearest office on the NAFDAC website. In the meantime, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has called on President Bola Tinubu to mandate the Minister of Finance and Minister of the Economy, Olawale Edun, alongside the Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Shakirat, meeting to reveal the names of companies and contractors who received over 167 billion naira from 31 ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, without executing any project. This was disclosed by SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadari, who said the organization demanded transparency regarding the specific contractors, the project involved, their allocations, and the amounts disbursed. Kolawole Oluwadari emphasized that the disclosure should include the identities of shareholders or individuals with ownership stakes in the implicated companies. He noted that the 2021 auditor report by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation should prosecute those responsible for misappropriating the funds and ensure the recovery of the 167 billion naira for reinvestment into public projects. Kolawole also stressed that the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC (NBET) served as a key contributor to financial scandal, reportedly paying 100 billion naira for unexecuted contract. He also accused intermediaries within MDAs of alleged acts of corruption, further undermining public trust and socio-economic development. The organization warned that failure to act within 7 days would compel them to pursue legal measures to enforce accountability also urging the Tinubu administration to prioritize accountability and restore public confidence in governance. And that's it on the World News at 12. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. Syrian troops withdraw from Aleppo as rebels advance. Atiku hosts Peter Obi at Adamawa residence. IGP ordered probe into Kogi boat mishap. Villagers flee as unknown gunmen return, kill alleged informant in Abia. NAFDAC warns about circulation of fake anti-malaria drug. And that is a wrap on the World News at 12. My name is Amina Ojelabi. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.